Right, good morning everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. It is 11 o'clock in the morning in the UK. I don't normally do morning playthroughs, but this is actually it's quite good. Yeah. We're going to be doing Zapotec today, and thank you very much to Board and Dice for asking me to create this video. Just to let you know, I've just been joined by a cat. As soon as I go live, and let me know if you can hear me and see me. I don't know what it is with these live playthroughs, but as soon as I go live, Loki decides to walk in the room. So we have a cat who's probably going to join us any minute now. You going to join me or not? Do you just want breakfast? He's had breakfast. Anyway, welcome to a Zapotec. We're going to be doing 2 videos for this game today. Aren't we? Yes, we are lucky. The first one is a solo playthrough, which I'm going to be doing now. This afternoon, I've got some friends coming over, and we're going to be doing a 4-player playthrough. So yeah, if you want to see either the solo game of this or the 4-player game, or, well, a multiplayer game, you can see both on the channel today. I do need a Loki cam, except he never stays still. Come here, you. Yes, there we go. We have a Loki cam. Yes, you're famous. You are famous. Right, anyway, let's crack on with how the game plays. And I'm aware that this is the first video that I'm doing on this game, apart from the unboxing that I did yesterday. So I'm actually going to give you an overview of how the game plays. The full tutorial will come in the multiplayer game later today, but I'll give you an overview of how we're doing now. Right, we're going to be playing over 5 rounds, and in each round you're going to take 1 turn. That means in this game you only get to take 5 turns. I don't think I've ever played a game where you take fewer turns than this, but this is quite a short game. It's quite focused, it's very tight, and it doesn't take that long, and it's not that complicated. And you actually can accomplish quite a lot in those 5 turns. Okay, we are, like most Euro-style games, we are trying to score as many points as we can get. There's points that you will get during the game, and there's points that you're going to get at the end of the game. The reason why the game is called Zapotec is it's based on the ancient Mesoamerican culture from like 2,500 years ago. Yeah, a pre-Columbian civilization that flourished in the valley of Oaxaca. I think that's how you pronounce it. In Mesoamerica. Yeah, basically, that's what we're going to be doing. So, we have the board set up for the 2-player game setup. What we've got is, you will notice, we've got 3 regions of the board. Now, these are all named. I'm not going to try and name them. I'm just going to call them the blue one, the yellow one, and the green one. So, we have 3 regions. In each region, there are 3 different types of terrain. We have the plains, which is the dark brown. We have the hills, which looks more like cliffs, but this is the grey area. And we have the forest. And then within each of those, there are 3 different types of buildings. So the red tiles are temples, the yellow buildings are cornfields, and the green buildings are villages. What we're going to be doing during the game, one of the things we're going to be doing, is we're going to be building our buildings onto those spaces on the board, and that represents us building the buildings. We're also going to be contributing to building of pyramids in the middle of the board. There are these trade tiles up here. I've got a zoom in spot for here. So these trade tiles are divided into categories. These are all 1s, these are all 2s, these are all 3s. Now, in a solo game, you only ever put 3 out, and that's it. You never put any more out. In a multiplayer game, there's a big stack of tiles, and once a tile is taken, you replenish it. But in a solo game, you just put those out, and that's that. We've got a sacrifice track here, which is one of the things that you can be doing. You can be giving food to the gods and moving up that track. And you can also be contributing to the rituals. So there are 3 ritual cards for every game. It's always 3, no matter how many players you're playing with. And there's a big pile of ritual cards, and you pick 3 of them at random. They are basically end game scoring cards. You won't score anything for them until you've put a disc on it. Once you've put one of your discs on it, you will then score for that card at the end of the game. That is a ritual card. We'll come on to that in more detail later on. Right, there are resources in the game, which you're going to be getting. There's 2 main types of resources. There are basic resources, which is wood, stone, and brick. And there are the advanced resources, which are priests, corn, and coins, or gold. We're going to be getting them during the game. There's a whole load of counters off camera, just to keep it tidy. And yeah, we're going to be playing the game over 5 rounds. So, let's jump in, and let's start playing. Now, you have a hand of cards. You can see here, this is my hand of cards. I'm going to show them obviously on camera because it's a solo game, but normally this would be in your hand. These cards would be secret. And each round is divided into 2 phases. And the first phase is really simple. All players, so in a solo game, just me, chooses which of these cards to play, which sounds like a really simple decision, but actually there's a lot going on. First of all, the number at the bottom is very important because there's a lower number on the card, the earlier you will go in turn order this round. So if I play the 6, I'm more likely to go first, and that can be really important. The other thing in the top is this is the income symbol, which is basically the resource that you will get, but it actually triggers in your resource grid, which I'll come on to more later on as well, but the choice of resource that you choose at the top is also really important. And what's also very important is the big thing in the middle. And there's 9 different criteria in this game. Let me just go back to the main game board. You know, I mentioned that there are 3 regions. In each region there are 3 types of terrain, and there are 3 types of buildings. So they are the 9 criteria. Now, this card that you choose, what's printed in the middle of the card is the criteria that you must follow for that particular round in terms of buildings. So if I was to choose this card, that means for this round I can only build villages. I can build them anywhere, but I can only build villages. Let's just sort these out by type. Right. If I choose either of these cards, I can only build in forests. I can build any building in any region, but it has to be in a forest. This one is for hills, this one is for plains, and this one means I can build a building of any type, in any terrain type, but it has to be in this region on the board. So the card that you choose indicates the criteria where you can build your buildings for that turn. Now, the other thing to note is there is one of these action cards at random placed on the scoring space at the start of the game. At the end of each round, there's going to be a scoring which gets you 2 points for every building you have of the criteria indicated. So at the end of round 1, I'm going to score, and my opponent is going to score, Kokijabot, which is the rain god of the Zapotec people. I'm going to score 2 points for every cornfield that I've built. So, for example, if I choose this card in the first round of the game, that means I can only build villages. If I choose that card and build villages, I'm not going to score any points at the end of round 1 because it's for that. So yeah, the choice of card that you make is really important. I'm just going to have a drink of my cup of tea and then we'll have a think. Because there's another thing to take into account as well. Scoring tiles. There are 9 scoring tiles included in the game. And at the start of the game, you pick a number of tiles equal to the number of players plus 1. These are the scoring tiles for the pyramids. And that might influence my choice of where I build. So even though, if I choose to build villages this turn, I'm not going to get any points this round, that might be the right thing to do if this tile comes out as a scoring tile. Might be. There's also 2 cards for the next round, and I'm going to get one of those is going to be the scoring card for next round. Now, I'm looking at them and I can see they are both for this region. So one of those 2 cards is going to be the scoring card for next round. They are all of the factors that you need to take into account when choosing your card. Hopefully I've got that message across that your choice of card might seem like a really simple choice. But having played the game last night and then experimented a bit with the solo game this morning, it's a really important choice. So I'm going to choose I'm going to choose this one. Okay, so this is the card that I'm going to play, and I'm going to put it here. Just to show that, because normally these would be in your hand, and then the one that you play, you put it face down on the table in front of you, and when all players have done that, you reveal it. In the solo game, you just reveal it. Now, because we're playing a solo game, we have Kokijabot's deck of cards. This is 27 cards that have been shuffled at the start of the game, and there is a little bit of a hint on the back of the card as to what, as to where Kokijabot, I can never pronounce it right, is going to build. But sometimes it lies, so you've got to be very, very careful. So the back of the card makes it look like it's building in the green region, but that might not be true. Okay, so let's have a look at the card, and it is in the green region, so it wasn't lying. Okay, now, what that means is, first of all, it's number 9, and the card that I chose was number 18. That means the bot is going to go first. So let's go through what the bot does on its turn. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to build a building that matches all of these criteria if it can. And it can because there are no buildings on the board at the moment. So we look to build a temple in the green region in the forest. So we look at the green region, which is down here. We look at the forest, and we look for the temple, which is this one. So this is the one it's going to build. So we take one of its buildings, we put that on there. There you go. It has built a temple. Then what it tries to do is it tries to build a second building that matches two of those criteria and the criteria for the current game round, which is cornfield. So it's trying to build a cornfield in the green region in the forest, which it can. So it does that. So it builds twice. Okay, now it might also build a third time if it had already built a pyramid. It hasn't built a pyramid yet, so it doesn't build a third one. But we'll come back to that next round because it is about to now build a pyramid. If you look at its card, down in the bottom left is the capital action that it's going to do. You'll see when I get to my turn that human players, they have to do all of their capital actions before they do their building action. But Kokija bot does it the other way round. The bot does all of its building first and then it does its capital action. So it's going to do its capital action, which is to place a pyramid. So we've got these really, really nice pieces. And what it does, because there hasn't been a pyramid started yet, it's going to start a new pyramid there. And it will pick the scoring tile that matches the most houses. So there are these three scoring tiles. That's for villages, that's for temples, that's for plains. Which one of those is going to score it the most points? Well, it hasn't built any villages, it hasn't built in the plains, but it has built a temple. So right now, this is the only tile which is useful for it. If it was a tie, it would take the one closest to the top. So there we go. That has decided that this pyramid, whoever contributes to this pyramid, because you can get multiple players contributing to it, will score for temples at the end of the game. And right now, that temple is going to get Kokija bot 1 point at the end of the game because he's got one temple. That's it, I think. Yeah, I think that's its turn done. Now, the designer was in the chat earlier on today. Hopefully he's here now. Nope, not seeing him. But Fabio, if you are in the chat, please tell us. Please say hello to us. He'll spot if I'm making any mistakes. But I would also recommend turning on your Klingon subtitles, because if somebody watches this video afterwards and sees that I've made a mistake that I didn't catch in the live playthrough, I will add some Klingon subtitles into the video so that you can see that. So yeah, turn on your Klingon subtitles if you're watching this back afterwards. Fabio is here. Excellent. So hopefully there won't be any Klingon subtitles, because hopefully I won't make any mistakes. Anyway, it's my go. So, my go, I follow a turn sequence printed on my card. So the first thing that I do is collect income. So the card that you played has got the wood symbol on. That means I can choose either that column or that row. And then you get all of the resources printed in that row, including the thing at the top. So right now, because I've got no buildings here, it doesn't actually matter which one I choose. If I choose this column, I get a wood. If I choose a row, I'm going to get a wood. But you will see from turn 2 onwards that things are going to change here. So I get a wood. Now we have capital actions. Capital actions is next. However, there are 4 different capital actions in the game. Every single one of them requires the advanced goods. I have no advanced goods. You can always tell the advanced goods because they're circular. So I can't do any capital actions in the first turn of the game. And that's normal. Yeah, no human players can do capital actions in the first round of the game. So we go on to the construction step. Now, there are 3 buildings that I can construct, and also my palace, which we'll come to in a minute. To construct a cornfield, it costs a wood and a stone. To construct a village, it costs a wood and a brick. And to construct a temple, it costs a stone and a brick. We've played this card, this turn, so I can build whatever type of building I want, wherever I want to build it, but it has to be in a forest. And we're going to get points for cornfields at the end of the game. And we also know that next round's scoring card is going to be this yellow region. So based on that, I'm going to build a cornfield, which is 1 stone and 1 wood. And I'm going to build a cornfield in a forest, so it has to be in a forest. It doesn't have to be a cornfield. I'm choosing it to be a cornfield. And I'm going to choose it to be here because of next round scoring card. So that is built. That is mine. Now, what you do with this tile is you put it on your grid. If there is a bonus on the space, you immediately get that bonus. But what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for playing future cards, which will then unlock more income. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go on this space which means I immediately get 1 coin. There you go. Right, next. Oh good, so the 11 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock in the morning here. I'm more than happy to do more playthroughs like this. I'll talk about that more a little bit later on. Yeah, very exciting things changing on the channel this year, and one of them might be more 11 o'clock playthroughs. So yeah. Right. That's my buildings done. Now I could, if I wanted to, I've got a brick and a wood, so I could actually build a village. As long as I build it in a forest, I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend a brick and a wood, and I'm going to build a second building. I'm going to build a village. Now, it has to be in a forest. I'm going to choose it to be in the same region, because I know that region's going to score next time. So I'm going to put it here. Now, where do I put this? I think I want to put it in the same row, because if I put it in the same row, next round I play a wood card, and I get everything. So I'm going to put it there. So next time, if I play a wood income card, I'm going to get a wood, brick, a corn, a wood, and a coin. You can see how the income really ramps up. Right. We're done. I can't build any more. So we now go to scoring. Oh, yeah, my opponent should have scored. At the end of Kokijabot's turn, he should have scored based on this. So he should have scored 2 points for his cornfield. Right. My scoring, I also score 2 points for my cornfield. And then what I do is I take one of these two cards. The card that I played in a solo game is discarded. Doesn't actually say that in the rulebook, because it's different in a multiplayer game, but the card that you played is discarded. I take one of these two. I'm going to take that one. That goes into my hand. And this one now becomes the new scoring card for next round. And that is the end of the first round of the game. And we do that 5 times. But it does ramp up, and you're going to see a lot more of the game. You're going to see building pyramids. You're going to see more of the trade tiles. You're going to see moving up the sacrifice tribe. Right. At the end of the round, we reveal the 6 cards here in this pile. And we reveal the next 2. And now we go on to round 2 of the game. No stone for me next round. Yes. Yes. I'm planning on buying a tile with this. So, let's choose a card. So, straight away, I'm going to get 2 points at the end of this round for every building in this area. And I've already got 2 buildings in this area, so this is awesome. I'm going to get 4 points for this. Do I want to build more buildings in this area? Well, I definitely want to play a wood card, because if I play a wood card, I can trigger all of this. So I'm thinking this one. I'm thinking, why wouldn't I play this one? This is the best card for me. Yeah, so I'm going to play that card. That's the card I'm going to play. Kokijabot is playing card number 15. Okay, so they're going first. And the first thing is they're going to build a village in the yellow area in the forest. And they can't. Because the village in the yellow area in the forest has already been built by the pesky purple player. So he doesn't. So that's, if possible, matching the 3 icons on the card. Okay, so we go to the second building condition, which is 2 of the conditions on the card and here. Well, that's exactly the same. So actually, we've stopped it building. Now, you might think that's a really good thing, but there's a downside to it. The third one, oh right, it gets a third one because it's built a pyramid. So we're now looking at this scoring tile replacing that. So it's going to try to build a temple in the yellow area in the forest, which it can. Okay, we almost stopped it building then, but because of the third condition, it was able to build there. But that's it. That's all it does. And then we have the icon in the bottom left shows that it is doing the trade action, the trade capital action. So the trade capital action, it's basically going to select one of these 3 rows based on the following conditions. If it's collected 4 or more village tiles, or it's reached here, it will take from the bottom row. It hasn't built any villages. Has it built 3 villages, or is it here? No. So it basically takes a tile from the top row. And it takes the leftmost tile from the row, and it's taken that, and that's gone. And I'm just going to put it there. Right. And it doesn't actually get the bonuses of it, but I will when I buy it. And that's it. So it built 1 house, and then it did a capital action, and we're done. If it built no houses, if we actually stopped it building completely, it would have done 2 capital actions. What you do is you do that card, and then you reveal another card, and it does the capital action on the second card as well. Right. And as I say, in a solo game, you do not refresh the display. It is scoring 2 points because it's got 1 house in that area. My go. I am going to choose, so this is where it all happens, wrong button. I'm going to choose the wood icon, and we're going to choose that row there. So I get a wood, I get a brick, I get a corn, I get another wood, and I get another coin. Okay, so that's all of my resources that I've got. And now we do capital actions. So there are 4 different capital actions in the game. 2 of them you've seen. Kokijabot has done them. The first one is trading. You spend your gold coins to take trade tiles. You can take 1 from each row on a turn. I have 2 coins, so I could take 1 from either of the top row or 1 from the bottom row. 1 from the middle row, but I can't take 2 from the top row. There is sacrificing. To sacrifice, you need to send a priest with 1 to 5 food. I don't have any priests, so I can't do that. To do building a pyramid, you need 1 of each basic resource and a priest, so I can't do that. And to do a ritual, you need a priest, and you also need to have contributed to building the pyramids. So the only capital action I can do right now is trading, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And I could spend 2 coins for 1 of these. Now, you'll notice some of these trade tiles have 1 X in the corner. That means they are 1 use only. You do it, you flip it over, and you get what it says on it. These are once per round, and these are conversion tiles. Now, these were randomly chosen, but every tile that we've drawn in this game converts stone. And I currently don't have any stone. So I don't want to pick 1 of those. So I'm going to spend 1 coin, and I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to use it immediately to get 1 stone and 1 corn. And just flip that there. So 1 stone and 1 corn. Right. That is the only capital action that I can do. And I can't, as I say, I do have a coin, but you can't buy 2 tiles from the same row. So now we go into building. I can only build in this area, but I can build whatever I want to build, whichever type of building I want, in any type of terrain I want, but it has to be in this area. Now, what have I got? I've got a wood and a brick and a stone and a wood. So I think I'm going to build 2 buildings. I did say I was going to talk about the palace. I'll talk about the palace next turn because I'm probably not going to build that this turn. So yeah, so let's build. That's a cornfield. So we're going to build a cornfield and we're going to build a village. Right, so I'm spending those resources. We're going to build a cornfield and a village, which isn't matching this. Now, what's going to be the scoring tile next turn? So the thing is, as a human player, I decide what's going to come in. Well, I don't want that to come in, so I'm going to build that. So I'm going to build the cornfield and the village up in the plains in here. Now, these both go on my board. So where am I going to put them? I could be really greedy and put that there. And that's actually really good, because then I can play a wood card next turn and get all of that. So I'm going to put that there. I'm also going to put this here because that gets me 1 priest. So there you go. I get a priest. Let's call him Percival. Right. I have done my 2 building. I am not doing any more building. So now we score for this condition. And I have 4 buildings in this area. So I get a whopping 8 points. Nice. Right. I'm now going to discard the card that I played. I'm going to choose that one, which means this is now the bonus card for next round. Okay, and that is the end of round 2. We get 2 new cards. As I say, there's only 5 rounds in the game. You will only take 5 turns in the game, but you can see how it ramps up. I've now got lots of these advanced resources. So just before we continue, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for funding the channel. I do rely on the financial support of the Patreon, so if you've liked this video, if you found it useful, obviously give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and please consider supporting me on Patreon. I am on a Patreon drive to 800 at the moment, try and get to 800 supporters. I did manage to get to 800 in January, but unfortunately the way Patreon works is at the start of every month, you normally lose a whole load of supporters. So I'm back to 791. So yeah, 9 people to go. If you are able to contribute to the channel and help me carry on making more videos, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Right, off we go. Round 3, turn 3. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I definitely want to play a wood card to get the maximum benefit from here. I do have these 2 cards. And if I play this one, I can build in plains, and that matches this. I think this is the one we want to play. Okay, so we're going to play that card. And now let's reveal Kokijabot's card. It's a 14, so Kokijabot is going before me. Right, so the first thing it's going to do is it's going to build a village in the blue area in the forest, which is blue area, forest, village. Boom, done. Then it tries to build one that's a village in the blue area in the plains. Blue area, plains, it's going to build another village. But there is now a third thing. Remember, if it has built a pyramid, it also tries to build that one as well. So it's going to build, and there is a reason why I've laid that down just for now. It's going to try and build a temple in the blue area in the forest, which is that one. Okay, so it is building 3 buildings. The reason why I laid them down is if, and I believe this is right, if the same building is spotted, sorry, if the same location matches that and that, instead of building 2 different buildings, it actually builds its palace. But in this case, it's just building those 3 buildings. Now, that's quite a lot for it. I'm actually going to stack these up by type, I think. There you go. Right. I think that's right. I think it's built 3 buildings. 1 because of the 3 conditions. The second one, 2 conditions and that card. And the third one, 2 conditions and a pyramid. Yes. Okay, right. Oh, there's also something special about the last round. It will build its palace in the last round if it hasn't already. But anyway, it's now doing the trade action. Now, how many villages does it have? 2. So it's taking this one. It hasn't got... Nobody's done any sacrificing. So it's taking that tile. That is done. Okay, and that's it. Its go is done. It scores 2 points for every building in plains. And it only has 1. Nice. Okay, my go. So I'm going to choose, now this is where it gets good again. I'm going to choose this icon here and go across. Again, I could choose this one, but I'd only get that. So I'm going to get a wood, a brick, a corn, a stone, a coin, a wood, and a coin. Right, look at all this. Right, I can do a lot of stuff this turn. We could go sacrificing, we could go building, we could do all sorts of things. Now, the disadvantage of me building a piece of the pyramid is that's going to use those 3 resources, which means I actually then don't have enough resources left to take a trade tile. So I'm looking at those trade tiles because I've got 3 gold. So if I really wanted to, I could buy those super big ones at the top. And they are really nice. They are really, really nice. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a capital action. I'm going to spend 3 coins. And I'm going to buy this tile here. So this tile is a one-off tile that I can use. Loki's come back. Hello again. I can use it any time in the game, but I think I'm going to use it straight away. And this basically allows me to spend 2 corn to advance 4 spaces up on the sacrifice track. So I'm going to use it straight away. So I've spent me 2 corn. Now, every time you move up, you will always get all of the bonuses from all of the spaces that you pass through or land on. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets me 3 immediate points. I get any one resource of my choice, and I'm going to choose to take... let me just work out what it is that I'm building. I'm going to take stone. And what this means is from now on, any tile that I buy from the middle trade tile row gets a discount of 1. So these now only cost me 1 coin instead of 2. Right, so that's my trade tile bought, moved up the sacrifice track. As I say, there is another way that you can move up the sacrifice track, but I'm not going, oh, now does that change me building? I could now contribute to building a pyramid. Ah, and I could build my own pyramid. And I could put, oh, right, okay. So there's an interesting thing with this game is that pyramids, you start off with the base piece and then you can put the middle piece on. I don't know if this is going to show on the overhead camera. Yeah, it does. And then you can put a top piece on. And basically, there is a sort of collaborative effort to building the pyramids, because if a pyramid is finished, then everybody who contributed to it is going to get more points. But basically, if I want points for temples at the end of the game, I want to contribute to this pyramid. I haven't built a single temple in this game. I don't think I want to bother contributing to this. I might want to start my own one. You also want to build the pyramids because you cannot do any of the rituals until you have got a pyramid piece. In fact, there's a maximum of 3 rituals that you can do during the game, and for each one you do, you have to have built a pyramid piece. Also, I'm just going to block these spaces off, because in a 2-player game, we don't use these spaces. So I'm just going to block those off there, like that. I have choices now. It's only round 3 of the game, and I've got so many choices. Do I build some buildings? Do I build my palace? If you know the game and you are watching this live, what do you think I should do? I think I should have a cup of tea. I'll tell you what, I am tempted to start building my own pyramid. And I still have enough to build a cornfield. It would have to be in blue, and it could still be in plains. I think I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. I am going to spend a priest and 1 of each basic resource. Now, at this point, I could contribute to this pyramid, and I'd put a middle piece on. Or I could start my own pyramid. But as I say, since that scoring tile is actually completely useless for me, I'm going to start my own pyramid, and I'm going to put it here. And when you start your own pyramid, you get to decide what the scoring tile is. So, do I want to score for villages, or do I want to score for plains? Well, I've built 2 villages, and I have 2 pieces in the plains. So I need to decide which of those I'm going to be doing more of as the game goes on. And I'm thinking I'm going to go plains. So I'm going to take the plains scoring tile and put it on there. Now this can now disappear because there can never be any more pyramids built. That is that done. So I've done 2 capital actions. You can do as many capital actions as you want in any order you want. The only restriction being you can't buy more than 1 tile from each row. Other than that, you can do them in any order. But I am done with my capital actions. We now do my building actions. I have a stone and a wood. I am going to build a cornfield in the blue area, and I'm going to choose to build it on plains because that's the bestest. I've still not built my palace. I will explain the palace rules. I'm going to put it on. Now, based on what I'm going to choose next... Oh, I've got a slight problem here. If I put it here, I'm generating wood. That's a lot of wood with no way of converting it. So I'm not sure where we want to put this. It depends which card I'm going to be playing next. And I should be looking at these ritual cards. 3 buildings of the same type in different terrain. Well, we can totally do that. Nobody's built anything in the hills yet, at all. Yeah, possibly want to look at doing that. But to do that, I need priests. I have no priests. Which is why you need temples. Oh, yeah, temples get you priest income. Okay, I'm just going to put it there. This might not work, but I'm going to put it there. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Fabio says, go for the pyramid now or you won't be able to finish it. Yeah, there is a rule. I said that you can do as many capital actions as you want. There is another limitation. You can only contribute to each pyramid once per turn. So this is round 3. If I didn't start this pyramid now, I wouldn't be able to finish it before the end of the game. Now I have the opportunity to finish it It's going to require a lot of resources, but if I do finish it, that's 15 points, because it's 5 points per piece, which is pretty big. I think we're done. Did my opponent score? Did I give Cookie Jabot 2 points? I think I did. Yeah, I'm done. So, scoring. Buildings in planes. I've got 1, 2, 3, so I get 6 points. Now, we're playing on the default difficulty level today. There are ways that you can tweak the game to make it more difficult, or even easier, I think. Yeah, to make the game easier, you can do something, and to make the game harder, you can do something. Right, the card that I played is discarded. I'm going to choose this one, because that means this card is the scoring card. And then we get the final 2 cards. Now, why is it the final 2 cards when it's only round 3? It's because you don't need to put new cards out at the end of round 4, because the cards are what you pick from at the end of that round. Right, we're done. We're going into round 4. I want to build on planes. I absolutely want to build on planes. So, but this isn't going to work. I'm going to have loads of food and not anything to do with it. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a slight problem here. I want to be super efficient, and I want to play a stone card that gets me all of this. However, all of this is a stone and 3 wood. What can I build with the stone and 3 wood? A cornfield. That's all I can build. Now, food is great for the sacrifice track, but I don't have any priest. The food can't walk to the, the volcano on its own. So I need a way of getting brick. And the only way I can think of me getting brick is me playing one of my brick cards. But if I do that, if I played this one, I'd get a brick and a wood and a corn. If I played this one, I'd get a brick. Oh, no, there's a brick here. Ah, so we want to play a wood card and we want to do that. We're fine. There's brick there. I just spotted it. So I want to play... I kind of want to build in planes. So I'm going to play this card. This is the card that I'm going to play. Right, okay, sorted. We worked out the puzzle. It's a bit early in the morning. So I'm playing that card. Cookie Jabot is playing card number 2. So just when I thought I was going to get to go first, he sneaks in with a number 2 card. Right, okay, first thing is it going to be able to build a temple in the blue area on the plains? Yes, it can. Temple, blue area on the plains. Nice, there you go. So it's built there. It's 4 temples that it's built. Second, that's the same space. Yeah? Temple in the blue area on the plains. And then the third one is this one, which is a temple in the blue area on the plains. Now, does that mean it's going to build its palace? Let's have a look. If one of the spaces built by Kokojibot matches both one of its pyramid scoring tiles and the current round's bonus card, then it places its palace instead of a regular building. Okay, so it's placing its palace. Basically, because this space is such a good space for it, because of this and this, instead of building the normal building there, it's going to build a palace. Now, Fabio will tell me if I've got that right, but I think that's right. I think it's building its palace there. Now, a palace basically counts as 2 houses. So it's counted as that's being 2 temples, 2 houses in the plains. Palace it is. Right, thought so. So yeah, because it matches everything, it's built a palace. But that is the only building it's building this turn. And then the capital action is pyramid. If it has not built a pyramid, it will try to start a new one. Otherwise, it will add a level to the one it already started. So it's basically going to put the second level on that one, which is going to get it more points at the end of the game. And that's it. That's all it does. Right, my go. I am going to choose... So we've got brick. Hang on a minute. That's not... No, I chose the wrong card. It's wood that I was choosing. Sorry, I've got this completely wrong. This is the card that I was choosing because it's got wood on it and my brain went onto brick for some reason. Right, so changing my mind. Nobody's watching. It's fine. This is the card I'm playing and I'm choosing wood again from here. So I get all of this. So that is a wood. That is a brick. That is a corn. It is a stone. It is a gold. It is a wood. And it is another gold. Right, so I got all of this stuff. And now capital actions. So I've no priests. So I can't build any pyramids. I can't do any rituals. I can't do any sacrificing. What I can do is I have the coins to buy a trade tile. And because I've reached this space, I can buy from here at a cost of 1 coin. But if I do, I then don't have any stone. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. Right. So, what do we do? Do we just forego building this turn in order to buy a trade tile from here and get rid of the stone? Because that stone could get me a priest. That priest could then allow me to do a ritual. Oh, all of a sudden I can do a ritual. Oh, that might be the right thing to do. That, or the priest to build the temple, to try and finish the temple. That might be the right thing to do. Oh, but if I do, I don't have the stone. Oh, right. We're not going to be able to finish this pyramid. I mean, I could finish this one, but again, that one's still no good for me. Saying that, it is 5 points if I finish it, but I don't really want to finish it. See, in a multiplayer game, players only score for completed pyramids, but in the solo game, Kokojibot is basically going to score even if it's not complete. So it's going to get 10 points for that anyway. Did I do his scoring? I didn't do his scoring. How many buildings has he got in planes? He's got 2. So I forgot to score. Okay. Other games from Fabio. Yes, Ragusa's really good. I haven't played Kalimala. Merv is really good as well. So, yes. Yeah. Even though the designer is in the chat, I'm a bit of a fan. Merv is very good, and Ragusa was very clever as well. So, yeah. I don't know what to do now. Oh. So my choices are buy a trade tile and convert the stone into something else, and then build loads of stuff that doesn't require stone, or use the stone and convert it into a priest and then do a ritual. And this ritual might actually be quite good for me. So it is 6 points for sets of 3 buildings of the same type in different terrain. So I have 3 cornfields. One's in forest, one's in plains, and if I build one in the hills, then that is 6 points. And how do I build a cornfield? That's that and that, but I wouldn't have the stone. So if I didn't, the only thing I could build is a village. Where are my villages? One in the forest, one in the plains. Yeah, I could do it. That would get me 6 points. Is that the right thing to do? And I need lots of stone next turn. Okay. I think we're going to do it. Let's see what happens. So my first capital action is I'm going to spend 1 coin and I'm going to take this trade tile here. So remember, I get a discount because I've reached this space. I am then going to use that. It's a once per round ability. Yep, so I'm just going to turn it sideways to show that I've used it. I convert a stone into a priest. Don't quite know how that happens, but you know. I then have another capital action. Now I can save these because if I'm going to do that ritual, I don't need to do them now. I've also just noticed I could do some really, really clever stuff. I could actually go sacrificing. So sacrificing we haven't explained. You send a priest and up to 1 to 5 corn to move that number of spaces ahead on the track. So it's always 1 priest. But I could spend a priest and 2 corn to move to there. That means I could then buy one of these 2. Oh, is that good? Oh, there's so many options. There are so many options because moving up would actually get me a resource. But then I'm not doing the ritual. I don't know what's going to be worth the most points. I can't math this out. I know I'm going to be building in plains. I know I'm going to be building in hills, which is probably going to get me this. So I think I'm going to do the ritual. But I'm not in any rush to do the ritual. And I can do one ritual because I've built one piece. So I might save it. Am I going to be able to get a priest next turn? If I can get a priest next turn, then this might work. Okay. I think I'm going to do it. I am going to sacrifice. I'm going to send the priest and the 2 corn to move 2 spaces up. So the first thing is I get any basic resource of my choice. So I'm going to take stone. Okay. Then I now get a discount on the bottom row. I have a coin. So I'm going to spend that 1 coin to take one of these bottom row tiles. And it's going to be the one which allows me to build, once per round, I can spend a brick to build a building in the green area, which I'm now going to use. Now, I still have to meet this condition here. So it has to be a green area. I believe I still need to meet the condition. Z28. But what if your condition clashes with one of the ones that you've chosen? Ignoring the played action card. Okay, yeah, you ignore the played action card. So I can build any building I want in the green area in any terrain type that I want. Well, we want to build in plains. Yeah. So I spend the brick, and it's going to be in this area. Oh, well, in that case, I can build a temple. Ka-ching! Right. Now we're cooking with gas. I'm going to put it there, which gets me an immediate corn. Right. Okay, we're good to go. Any more capital actions? No, I have no more capital actions. So many combinations that you can do in this game. We are now going to build, and all I've got left is, and I've not built my palace. I've got a stone and a wood, which is a cornfield, which has to go in the hills, but it can go in any region I want to. I need to decide what I need next turn. So what am I building? A cornfield in the hills in any region. So do I want that one? Or do I want that one? Or do I want that one? I think I want... Oh, and there's the scoring tiles for next round. Oh my... I'm going to take that one. Okay, and I'm going to put it there. Right. Wow. Scoring. I get 2 points for every building in the plains. I get 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 8 points. Am I doing this right? Look at the ritual card you want to activate. Yes, I have. It's this one. This is the one I want to activate because I have the 6 points there because I've got cornfield, cornfield, and cornfield in 3 different terrain types. Buildings of the same type with different terrain. I've done that. And if I look at building a village next turn, if I build a village in the hills, that'll be 12 points. Right. We're good to go. Card has been discarded. I'm going to take this one. That becomes the new bonus scoring card, and we go into the final round of the game. So we don't need an offer in the final round of the game. Yeah, these don't need to be in the same region. I'm just saying they are in the same region, but they don't need to be. It's just 3 buildings of the same type on different terrain. So, yeah, as long as I build a village in a hills somewhere, then I can get 12 points for this. Anyway, my cards refresh, and we are going into the final round of the game. I still haven't built my palace. I hope I scored that right. If anybody can confirm, I think I scored 4 points for my opponent, and it should have been 6. I'm going to give my opponent another 2 points because that's a palace. That counts as 2 houses. So, I think we're good to go now. Which card do I want to play? So, if my plan this turn is to get a priest, get a coin, do that ritual, and build a village in the hills. If I do that, I get 12 points. How am I going to do all of those things? I need a priest and I need a money. In order for me to get a priest and a money, I think the only way for me to do that... Oh no, because I've got this. I've got my tech tile, which allows me to convert a stone into a priest. So I've got the priest if I need it, as long as I get a stone and a money. It's probably going to be this row anyway. So why did I put that there? I shouldn't have put that there. I should have thought ahead and put it there. Yeah, I'm just going to change my mind because that was the last one that I put on the board, and I put it there thinking I was going to do this, but actually I need to go there. I need to do that. So I need to play a card with wood on, which is this, which is a village card, which is perfect because I need to build a village. So we're good to go. Kokijabot's final card is a 16. I am finally going first. In the last round of the game, I'm going first. And I am choosing this column here. So I get a wood, a stone, a corn, a stone, a coin, another stone, I've got too much stone now, and a priest. Okay, so this is what I've got. And now we do capital actions. So I'm going to spend the priest this is interesting. Yeah, I'm going to spend the priest and the coin to do the ritual action. I'm going to take that disc and I'm going to put it on there. And that basically is going to get me 12 points at the end of the game, I think. Right, I am then going to use my once per round ability to convert a stone into a priest. Now, I can't build a temple. I can't build a palace because I don't have any bricks. I can't build a pyramid because I don't have any bricks. I think we're going to go sacrificing. Can I get any more food? I can't get any more food. So I'm going to use this priest with 2 food to move 2 spaces up on this track. That gets me 3 points immediately. And I get 1 of these resources. So at this point, I am going to take the brick. Right. So, yeah, we got choices now. Yeah, I can't use this because of this and this. Right, okay. What do we need to do? We need to build a village. I can only build villages this turn. And I want to build it in the hills so that I have a set of 3. And I want to build it in this region because then I get more points for this. So, we're building a village. It costs me that and that. I've got spare resources, never mind. And we're going to build it here because that's the scoring card for this round. So that goes there. Oh, if I had... Oh no, I can make it my palace. We can do it. I can build my palace. So yes. So to build a palace, it costs 1 of each resource. So there we go. So a brick, a wood, and a stone. I finally built the palace. And what happens is... yeah, you build it as normal, but instead of the tile going in your resource area, it goes there. And it counts as 2 houses of that type. There you go. So I've got 2 villages in the hills. Okay, so I built my palace. That's good. I can only build villages this turn, so these resources are no use whatsoever. And I think that is my turn done. So I now score 2 points for every house in this region, with this counting as 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 14 points. That's really good. I've managed to work this out quite clever. You've got a lot more control over this card in a solo game than you do multiplayer. Right. Kokojibot's final turn of the game, it's trying to build a house. A cornfield in the blue area on the plains. Blue area on the plains, cornfield, it can't do it. So can it build in the yellow area a cornfield on the plains? No, because I'm already there. So can it build a temple in the blue area on the plains? No. Right, we now have the situation where it doesn't build a building, which means it gets 2 capital actions. So we get the capital action as per the card, and then we get the next capital action. Now I'm glad because this is sacrifice. We haven't seen this one. So when it sacrifices, it moves 1 space up on the track for each cornfield tile it has collected. It's collected 1 cornfield tile, so it moves 1 space up on the track and gets 1 point. And various things happen if it reaches various spaces. It's all in the rulebook, but that hasn't happened here. Okay, so then because it didn't build any buildings, it gets a second card, and it is trading. Oh, he still gets to build with the next card if it can. Oh, I didn't realise that. If it could not build any buildings, flip 1 more card and execute the capital action as well as on the original card. It doesn't say it will build houses. Yeah, the rulebook doesn't say. It just says if it can't build a building because the spaces were already taken by you or it, then flip 1 more card and execute the capital action on it as well as the original card. So it doesn't say that the rules currently don't say that it can build based on the second card, just that it gets to do the capital action. So it's taking the trade, and it can't trade because it's not reached there, and it doesn't have 4 villages, so it doesn't get a trade tile. So it doesn't actually do a second capital action. Yeah, it must have changed. Fabio's not even received his copy of the game. Right, and I think that's it. Right, we now go to end game scoring. So much for a 5-round game. Sacrifice track. I'm ahead on the sacrifice track, so I got 9 points. 53. Kokijibot is second place and gets 6 points. In fact, I don't think I gave it points for this. It's owed 2 points for that. Trade tiles. It got those 2 trade tiles worth 3 each, so it gets 6 points. Rituals. It didn't get any rituals, but I did, and that's actually worth 12 points to me. 65. Pyramids. So normally, as I mentioned earlier on, you will only score 5 points per pyramid tile if it's completed, but Kokojibot, however you pronounce it, gets points even if it's not complete. So that's 10. Kokojibot, that's it. Now, so I don't get any points for this pyramid because it's incomplete, but now we get points for this. So this is 2 points because it's got 2 pieces per house that it has that's a temple. It has 4 temples, none of which were palaces. Oh yeah, one of which was a palace. That's a palace. So it's basically, it's got 5 of them. 2 points each, it's 10 points. Me, I get 1 point for every house I have in the plains, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 4 points for that pyramid there. And I think that might be it. I mean, end game scoring is printed on the card. So we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. Yeah, we're done. So 69 points, place 47. I think I played that quite well. I mean, I won, and I did manage to... I mean, my focus was these cards, is always trying to get as many points as I can get building for these cards, which ended up being that. 12 points for this was quite nice at the end of the game. But yeah, and as I say, you can customize the difficulties. If I wanted to make the game harder, every time Kokijibot fails to build during the construction for any reason, it gets 2 points. Oh, right. So basically, if it only places 1 house, it gets 4 points. Right, that does make it harder. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I got this right. As I say, if anything gets picked up afterwards, then I'll put the Klingon subtitles on there. But that is how the solo game plays. I played it multiplayer last night. I played it 3-player last night. Playing it 4-player this afternoon. The solo mode, yeah. For those people who follow my channel regularly, you will know that I don't like complex AIs. I want my AIs to be relatively simple. This is about right. It's not that complicated. It gives us a little bit of, does it build here? These cards are really nicely done as to where it will build. And it's quite clever that it will try to build in the areas which will score it points this turn or score it points at the end of the game. So I think the solo mode's pretty good. It's still got the same interesting, crunchy decisions as to what buildings you build, where you build them, and every game will play out differently because there are lots of different ritual cards included in the game, and you only ever pick 3 of them. And these trade tiles as well, which, as I say, in a multiplayer game will refresh. But yeah, I think we are all done. So just a final thing before we go. As I mentioned earlier on, big change for me on the channel this year in that I've given up most of my rulebook work. So I'm relying on the support of the Patreon campaign to fund the channel even more. What that does mean is a lot of the stuff that I used to do during the day as my day job, which is the rulebook work, that is starting to be all done now, which means there's going to be more 11 o'clock in the morning playthroughs. This is actually a good time for me. Get up, do all of my morning stuff and admin and everything else, and if there is an audience at this time in the morning, I am more than happy to do more regular playthroughs. I've still got some rulebook work that I'm wrapping up, but once that's done, there should be more playthroughs coming to the channel at this time in the morning. I wasn't sure if there was going to be an audience at this time in the morning, but there is. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much to Board and Dice for asking me to do this. And congratulations, Fabio, on another excellent game. I said last night to my supporters after playing this that this is probably my favourite Fabio game. I do like Merv. I think Merv is really good. But having played this last night, this has shot to the top of my favourite games from this particular designer. Not that I've played that many of them, but this is brilliant. And I'm really looking forward to the playthroughs this afternoon. So yeah, 3 o'clock GMT this afternoon, there will be a 4-player game happening right here. So yeah, if you're interested in watching that, it'll be live at 3 o'clock this afternoon, or it'll be on the channel if you want to watch it later on. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you all later on. Bye-bye.